Day 345. Hosea 5-8. Hear this, O priests. Take heed, O house of Israel. Give ear, O royal house. For this judgment is against you because you have been a snare at Mizpah, a net spread out on Tabor. The rebels are deep in slaughter, but I will chastise them all. I know all about Ephraim, and Israel is not hidden from me. For now, O Ephraim, you have turned to prostitution, Israel is defiled. Their deeds do not permit them to return to their God, for a spirit of prostitution is within them, and they do not know the Lord. Israel's arrogance testifies against them, Israel and Ephraim stumble in their iniquity, even Judah stumbles with them. They go with their flocks and herds to seek the Lord, but they do not find him, he has withdrawn himself from them. They have been unfaithful to the Lord, for they have borne illegitimate children. Now the new moon will devour them along with their land. Blow the ram's horn in Gibeah, the trumpet in Ramah, raise the battle cry in Beth-aven, lead on, O Benjamin. Ephraim will be laid waste on the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Israel I proclaim what is certain. The princes of Judah are like those who move boundary stones, I will pour out my fury upon them like water. Ephraim is oppressed, crushed in judgment, for he is determined to follow worthless idols. So I am like a moth to Ephraim, and like decay to the house of Judah. When Ephraim saw his sickness and Judah his wound, then Ephraim turned to Assyria and sent to the great king. But he cannot cure you or heal your wound. For I am like a lion to Ephraim and like a young lion to the house of Judah. I, even I, will tear them to pieces and then go away. I will carry them off where no one can rescue them. Then I will return to my place until they admit their guilt and seek my face, in their affliction they will earnestly seek me. Come, let us return to the Lord. For he has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us, he has wounded us, but he will bind up our wounds. After 2 days he will revive us, on the third day he will raise us up, that we may live in his presence. So let us know, let us press on to know the Lord. As surely as the sun rises, he will appear, he will come to us like the rain, like the spring showers that water the earth. What shall I do with you, O Ephraim? What shall I do with you, O Judah? For your loyalty is like a morning mist, like the early dew that vanishes. Therefore I have hewn them by the prophets, I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and my judgments go forth like lightning. For I desire mercy, not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. But they, like Adam, have transgressed the covenant, there they were unfaithful to me. Gilead is a city of evildoers, tracked with footprints of blood. Like raiders who lie in ambush, so does a band of priests, they murder on the way to Shechem, surely they have committed atrocities. In the house of Israel I have seen a horrible thing, Ephraim practices prostitution there, and Israel is defiled. Also for you, O Judah, a harvest is appointed, when I restore my people from captivity. When I heal Israel, the iniquity of Ephraim will be exposed, as well as the crimes of Samaria. For they practice deceit and thieves break in, bandits raid in the streets. But they fail to consider in their hearts that I remember all their evil. Now their deeds are all around them, they are before my face. They delight the king with their evil, and the princes with their lies. They are all adulterers, like an oven heated by a baker who needs not stoke the fire from the kneading to the rising of the dough. The princes are inflamed with wine on the day of our king, so he joins hands with those who mock him. For they prepare their heart like an oven while they lie in wait, all night their anger smolders, in the morning it blazes like a flaming fire. All of them are hot as an oven, and they devour their rulers. All their kings fall, not one of them calls upon me. Ephraim mixes with the nations, Ephraim is an unturned cake. Foreigners consume his strength, but he does not notice. Even his hair is streaked with gray, but he does not know. Israel's arrogance testifies against them, yet they do not return to the Lord their God, despite all this, they do not seek him. So Ephraim has become like a silly, senseless dove, calling out to Egypt, then turning to Assyria. As they go, I will spread my net over them, I will bring them down like birds of the air. I will chastise them when I hear them flocking together. Woe to them, for they have strayed from me. Destruction to them, for they have rebelled against me. Though I would redeem them, they speak lies against me. They do not cry out to me from their hearts when they wail upon their beds. They slash themselves for grain and new wine, but turn away from me. Although I trained and strengthened their arms, they plot evil against me. They turn, but not to the Most High, they are like a faulty bow. Their leaders will fall by the sword for the cursing of their tongue, for this they will be ridiculed in the land of Egypt. Put the ram's horn to your lips. An eagle looms over the house of the Lord, because the people have transgressed my covenant and rebelled against my law. Israel cries out to me, O our God, we know you. But Israel has rejected good, an enemy will pursue him. They set up kings, but not by me. They make princes, but without my approval. With their silver and gold they make themselves idols, to their own destruction. He has rejected your calf, O Samaria. My anger burns against them. How long will they be incapable of innocence? For this thing is from Israel, a craftsman made it, and it is not God. It will be broken to pieces, that calf of Samaria. For they sow the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind. There is no standing grain, what sprouts fails to yield flour. Even if it should produce, the foreigners would swallow it up. Israel is swallowed up. Now they are among the nations like a worthless vessel. For they have gone up to Assyria like a wild donkey on its own. Ephraim has hired lovers. Though they hire allies among the nations, I will now round them up, and they will begin to diminish under the oppression of the king of princes. Though Ephraim multiplied the altars for sin, they became his altars for sinning. Though I wrote for them the great things of my law, they regarded them as something strange. Though they offer sacrifices as gifts to me, and though they eat the meat, the Lord does not accept them. Now he will remember their iniquity and punish their sins, they will return to Egypt. Israel has forgotten his Maker and built palaces, Judah has multiplied its fortified cities. But I will send fire upon their cities, and it will consume their citadels. Revelation 2. To the angel of the church in Ephesus write, these are the words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right hand and walks among the 7 golden lampstands. I know your deeds, your labor, and your perseverance. I know that you cannot tolerate those who are evil, and you have tested and exposed as liars those who falsely claim to be apostles. Without growing weary, you have persevered and endured many things for the sake of my name. But I have this against you, you have abandoned your first love. Therefore, keep in mind how far you have fallen. Repent and perform the deeds you did at first. But if you do not repent, I will come to you and remove your lampstand from its place. But you have this to your credit, you hate the works of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who overcomes, I will grant the right to eat from the tree of life in the paradise of God. To the angel of the church in Smyrna write, these are the words of the first and the last, who died and returned to life. I know your affliction and your poverty, though you are rich. And I am aware of the slander of those who falsely claim to be Jews, but are in fact a synagogue of Satan. Do not fear what you are about to suffer. Look, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison to test you, and you will suffer tribulation for 10 days. Be faithful even unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. The one who overcomes will not be harmed by the second death. To the angel of the church in Pergamum write, these are the words of the one who holds the sharp, double-edged sword. I know where you live, where the throne of Satan sits. Yet you have held fast to my name and have not denied your faith in me, even in the day when my faithful witness Antipas was killed among you, where Satan dwells. But I have a few things against you, because some of you hold to the teaching of Balaam, who taught Balak to place a stumbling block before the Israelites so they would eat food sacrificed to idols and commit sexual immorality. In the same way, some of you also hold to the teaching of the Nicolaitans. Therefore repent. Otherwise I will come to you shortly and wage war against them with the sword of my mouth. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who overcomes, I will give the hidden manna. I will also give him a white stone inscribed with a new name, known only to the one who receives it. To the angel of the church in Thyatira write, these are the words of the Son of God, whose eyes are like a blazing fire and whose feet are like polished bronze. I know your deeds, your love, your faith, your service, your perseverance, and your latter deeds are greater than your first. But I have this against you, you tolerate that woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess. By her teaching she misleads my servants to be sexually immoral and to eat food sacrificed to idols. Even though I have given her time to repent of her immorality, she is unwilling. Behold, I will cast her onto a bed of sickness, and those who commit adultery with her will suffer great tribulation unless they repent of her deeds. Then I will strike her children dead, and all the churches will know that I am the one who searches minds and hearts, and I will repay each of you according to your deeds. But I say to the rest of you in Thyatira, who do not hold to her teaching and have not learned the so-called deep things of Satan, I will place no further burden upon you. Nevertheless, hold fast to what you have until I come. And to the one who overcomes and continues in my work until the end, I will give authority over the nations. He will rule them with an iron scepter and shatter them like pottery, just as I have received authority from my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches.